So Kal Kadosh, we are continuing with Daf Pei Gimel Amud Aleph, 83a. So it says, Rebbe Kiva, and according to Rebbe Kiva, right? Now we're going to go back to Rebbe Kiva, and according to him, it says, right? Why was it that it had a juxtaposed to a nida? So the Gemara answered, Lemasa, we already answered it, that it's from Masa, and it's just like a nida is mitamia b'masa, so too the Avodah Zarah is mitamia b'masa. So ask the Gemara, look shalanevela. Now the question, before we asked this question on the rabbis, Chachamim, now we're asking on Rabbi Akiva, why? If according to this version of Rabbi Akiva, meaning this version of the Machloket and Rabbi Lazar, he said that according to everybody, Even Misama is not mitameh. So therefore, if it's mitameh b'masa and not be'even misama, so compared to a nevela, that was the middle ground. Do you remember? One more time. Sheretz is mitameh only by touching, not by carrying, and not by even misama, the stone underneath. Nevela was mitameh also b'masa, but not even misama, not by the stone underneath. Right? I'm calling the stone underneath. It's really the stone, and underneath you have a utensil, but it's not being supported by the stone. The nida is mitameh everything. So if right now you're saying, according to Rabbi Elazar, that it's compared to the nida, which is mitameh b'masa, but it's not mitameh b'even misama, so compared to the nevela, why are you comparing it to a nida? Answers the Gemara, inachenam, you're right. Ella mani dailin levarin, afrodot zera levarin. According to this shita, it's coming to teach you in Rebbe Akiva, right? That was the chidush. That just like a nida there's not levarin, so too afrodot zera there's not levarin. So 1 second. So ask the Gemara the same question that we asked before. Elahad by Rav Chama Bar Guria, according to the Rav Chama Bar Guria, that he had the question, Avodah Zarah yeshna levarim or levarim, that does Avodah Zarah mitameh bevarim or not? Which means if you cut off a limb of Avodah Zarah, does that mitameh or not? Tifshol lemeha. Just bring a proof from here that whether according to Rabbanan, whether according to Rabbi Akiva, and a levarim, it's not levarim. According to Rabbi Akiva, we just learned right now, or according to Rabbanan, we also learned. So says the Gemara, Rav Chama Bar Guria kerabba matri. No, Rav Chama Bar Guria learned like Rabba. So since Rav Chama Bar Guria learned like Rabba, according to Rabba, it was mitameh be'even misama. So therefore, if it was mitameh be'even misama, according to Rabbi Akiva, because you compared it to Anida, so then Rabbi Akiva does not hold of Tuma Levarim, right? He doesn't hold of this thing of Tuma Levarim. Maybe it is mitameh be'evarim, I don't know. So because of that, you can't bring a proof from it. That's what he says over here. Okay? So he says, Rabbi Chama Bar Guria kerabi matana, ubai la'ali b'd Rabbi Akiva, and he was asking according to Rabbi Akiva. Because remember, in that case, according to Rabbanan, they did hold of entuma levarim. Okay, fine. Next. Meitve. We're going to ask now the following question from a Braita. Avodah Zarah kesheretz, u'mshameshea kesheretz. So here it says mefurash that Avodah Zarah is like a sheretz, and the mshameshea kesheretz. Rabbi Akiva omer, Avodah Zarah is like a nida, and Mishamshea is kesheretz. So Bishma Rabbi Elazar, Nicha, according to Rabbi Elazar, it's beautiful. Because according to him, according to Chachamim, Avodah Zarah is only going to be like a sheretz. So then it comes out beautiful. But according to Rabbah, that according to Shitat Rabbah, according to Shitat Rabbah, he's saying that it's going to be mitameh according to Chachamim also b'masa. It's a question. Because here it said in the Rabbi Akiva, there's no question. Because Rabbi Akiva is perfect. Avodah Zarah is like the nida, Meshamsheh is like a sheretz. That's perfect. But in the Reisha said that Avodah Zarah is like a sheretz, and Meshamsheh is like a sheretz. So therefore, according to Rabbi Elazar, it's beautiful. It's like a sheretz. But according to Rabbah, it's not like a sheretz. Avodah Zarah is like a nida, which it is mitameh b'masa. It's not mitameh b'misama, but it's mitameh b'masa. So it's not like a sheretz, it's like a nida. So, Amalecha Rabba is going to answer you for this Braita. Mi alima matniti? Is this Braita better than our Mishnah? The Ktani, because we learned there, Etzava v'ana v'afarav, the stones, the dirt, and the wood, metamin kesheretz. V'ukimna, so we said over there, my kesheretz, what does it mean kesheretz? De lo metameh be'even misama. It's like a sheretz that it's not metameh be'even misama, but not that it's not metameh b'masa. Hachanami, so to here, the Braita is the exact same answer. Metameh kesheretz, but it's not metameh be'even misama. Meaning, what are you trying to come and start asking me questions from a Braita? The Mishnah. Ask me a question from the Mishnah. And the exact way how I explain the Mishnah, I'm going to answer up the Braita. The exact same way. I'm not going to answer it differently. Next question. Mateway, we're going to ask another question.
And who's saying that is going against Rabbi Akiva?
No, it's not that he's going against Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva was another part of the Braita. So obviously Rabbi Akiva was perfect, whether according to Rabbi Lazar or according to Rabba. Because Rabbi Akiva said, Avodah Zarah itself is mitameh like a nida. Meshamshea is going to be mitameh like a sheretz. And that was according to everybody. So that was okay.
But that doesn't mean like benaga masa.
In which case, in Maga Masa?
And for example, Rabbi Akiva is mentioning that Avodah Zarah mitameh Avodah Zarah kenidda.
Exactly. So that's b'masa. Or you say like a nida, it's
then
masa.
he said, "O masa, o meshamsheha kesheres."
Exactly, because the meshamshea is not b'masa; it's only b'maga. It's like a sheretz.
Okay.
Yeah. So one more time.
It means he elevated the Avodah Zarah kenidda. Means very hamur. Like the Avodah Zarah kenidda.
Well, that's what we just said. Because again, remember the pasuk in Yeshaya said mefurash that Avodah Zarah is like a nida. So Kiva learned that the Avodah Zarah is like a nida in the concept of masa, according to Rabba. According to Rabba, it's according to everybody that they learn that it's mitameh b'masa. Only according to Rabbi Lazar, he still learns that it's mitameh b'masa. So Avodah Zarah is very strict, of course.
Okay.
So the next question says, Mateway, we're going to ask a question. Nochri v'nochrit, right? A goy or goya, Avodah Zarah mushamshea, the Avodah Zarah and its mishamshea, hen velo hesetan. They themselves are tamim, but not tumat heset. Heset is the masa. Okay? Rabbi Akiva says, hen vehesetan, they are mitamim masa. So bishma Rabbi Lazar, it's good according to Rabbi Lazar. Why? Because he says according to the Chachamim, the Avodah Zarah is not mitamim masa. So nicha. But according to Rabbah, that even according to Chachamim, Avodah Zarah is mitamim masa, it's a question. Why? Because the Braita says mefurash, not like that. The Braita says at the beginning, remember, the beginning is like Chachamim, because it doesn't say Rabbi Akiva yet. The Chachamim say, Nochri v'nochrit, Avodah Zarah mishamshea, it's mitamim b'maga and not b'masa, because the Tumat Teset is masa. Okay? Rabbi Akiva says, it is mitamim b'masa. So it says the Gemara, according to Rabbi Lazar, it's beautiful. It's according to Chachamim, it's not mitamim b'masa. But according to Rabbah, that even according to Chachamim, it's mitamim b'masa, what do you do with this Braita? So answers Rabbah, Rabbah, according to your reasoning, says Rabbah, according to your reasoning, Nochri v'nochrit nami, a goy and a goya also, hen velo esetan. What does it mean? It's also hen velo esetan. It's also tumat maga and not tumat masa. But Tanya, because we learned in a Braita mefurash, dabrur b'nei Israel. You have to speak to b'nei Israel, and it's written that a person is going to become tameh zav or zavar or things like that. B'nei Israel metamim neziva, and nochri metamim neziva. Only a Jew becomes tameh tumat zavar or zav, which means the seminal discharge, or a woman having the discharge of the nida as a sickness. So only b'nei Israel become tameh in that, but not a goy. Aval gazru alehen shiu kezavim lechol divren. The rabbis were the ones that instituted that they are going to become zavim for everything, and therefore it comes out that it's only the rabbanan b'masa like a zav. So it comes out. Why didn't the rabbis also say it? It's not masa mitameh. So basically, Rabbah is coming and saying, you're asking me a question, ask yourself a question before you ask me a question. The question against you is, why do we compare the nochri and the nochri to Avodah Zarah? Nochri and nochri is only the rabbanan, it's not doraita. It's not mitameh b'masa. Right? Ela barather. So says the Gemara, Rabbah metaretz the tameh. Rabbah is going to answer according to his reasoning. Nochri v'nochrit hen besetan, eve misama shelahen. So it comes out nochri and nochrit are mitameh b'masa. Okay, and also be'eve misama. Avodah Zarah, he ve'eseta, so too the Avodah Zarah itself is also b'masa. Aval lo eve misama shela, but not with eve misama. Rabbi Akiva says, Avodah Zarah is mitameh itself, he ve'eseta, and also eve misama shela. The Rabbi Lazar metaretz tameh. Rabbi Lazar is going to come and answer according to his reasoning. That means basically we are trying to answer up this Braita, whether according to Rabbah or whether according to Rabbi Lazar. And now it says, Rabbi Lazar metaretz tameh, nochri v'nochrit, a goy and a goya, hen ve'setan, them or the tumat masa, eve misama shelahen, and also eve misama shelahen. Avodah Zarah hi right? So that's according to Rabbi Lazar. Okay, so according to Rabbi Lazar, one more time. Nochri v'nochrit is going to be mitameh b'masa and b'maga. Okay, and v'misama shlein and also v'misama. Avodah zara is only going to be mitameh. Right, that's what we're trying to say now. It's only going to be trying to be mitameh b'seta. Okay, and Rabbi Akiva says, Avodah zara hi b'seta. Yes, that it is. So according to the rabbis, the avodah zara is not going to be mitameh be'misama, only be, right? That's what we said according to Rabbi Lazar. Okay, so he says, and according to Rabbi Akiva, it's only avodah zara which is going to be mitameh b'masa, but not in the even misama. Because if you remember, according to Rabbi Lazar, according to everybody, it's not mitameh be'even misama. Okay, and then we have the next question, which is basically Rav Ashi. So we're going to stop here, and B'ezrat Hashem we will continue. Morning, Kalkalos. So we're continuing on Pegimel Amud Aleph. We are in the middle of the daf where it says Matkifla Rav Ashi, where Rav Ashi is asking the question. When the lines become wide, you go 2, 4, 6, 8. It's like 9 lines down. Rav Ashi Amar, right? Matkifla Rav Ashi. So says the Gemara, Matkifla Rav Ashi. Rav Ashi is going to ask a question to find out, do we go like Rabba or like Rabbi Elazar? And the Gemara asks, my hen. What does it mean, the word hen? Does it mean that they themselves are Tme'im or not? Right? So, because we just said beforehand, the word Hesetan means Masa. So that we already said. When you're moving, when you're carrying something that's called Tumat Heset, right? That means other people are carrying it. So what does it mean, hen? Does hen mean they themselves? Right? So then it's going to be tameh. And therefore it's going to come and tell us that ene setan tameh or setan mitameh. Ela Rav Ashi, but rather Rav Ashi comes and he says like this. Hachi kamer, this is what it means to say the Braita. Nochri v'nochrit, a goy and a goya, ben hen shesitu et achirim, ben achirim shesitu otan. Doesn't matter whether they moved other people or people moved them. Tme'im, they're going to become tme'im. Which means that if they went and they moved other people, the other people become tme'im tumat heset because of them. And that's the pshat when it says hesetan. Okay? So, says the Gemara. Okay? Avodah zara shesitu tacherim. When you have avodah zara, which other people moved, tehorim, they're going to be tehorim. Acherim shesitu otam, other people that moved them, tmeim, are going to be tmeim. Mishamsheha, ben hen shesitu tacherim, uven acherim shesitu otan. But to do with the mishamsheha of the avodah zara, whether, right, they moved other people or other people moved them, tehorim, it's always going to be tehorim. Rabbi Akiva is the one that argues, and he says, nochri v'nochri v'avodah zara, that nochri and avodah zara are together in the same category, which means whether they moved other people or other people moved them, ben shesitu tachrim v'achirim shesitu otan, tmeim, they're going to be tmeim. Mishamsheha, but the ones, the dormants, or the things which are used for the avodah zara, ben shesitu achirim v'achirim shesitu otan tehorim, they're going to be tahor. So it comes out that the kavanah of hesetan is tumat heset, and the word hen is talking about tumat masa. So we just changed what it is because we are changing the different languages. So it says over here, according to this girsa, it comes out that nochri v'nochrit, hen v'hesetan, avodah zara is itself, velo heseta, and meshamsheha is nothing. Rabbi Akiva wanted to say differently. So basically we're going down in levels. So according to this, it comes out that a goy and a goya, right? They themselves and other people, right? Vesetan. Avodah zara is only itself, but it's not for other people. And the mishamsheh goes down the level, nothing. Okay, and according to Rabbi Akiva, nochli v'avodah zara is in the same category. So it's they themselves and vesetan. The mishamsheh is nothing. So it's only 2 categories instead of 3. Okay? So says the Gemara, Avodah zara, bishlema acherim shesitu ota. I understand that other people can move the avodah zara. Mishkachala, you can find it. For example, like we had the picture that you're carrying it into a box. So you are carrying the avodah zara. Elashi sita tacherim, echi mishkachala. How do you find a case of the Avodah Zarah is carrying you or moving you? How does that happen? So Amar Rami Bered Rav Yeva, says Rami Bered Rav Yeva, Kletam, we learned it in the Mishnah. Hazav bekaf mozdayim ve'ochlin umashkim bekaf shniya, kara hazav tmein. What happens right now if you have a zav on a scale? These are one of the big things on the scale, okay? And ochli umashkin, food and drink in the other one, in the other part of the scale, okay? Kara hazav, if the zav puts more pressure and therefore the scale goes down and the food goes up on the other side, tmein, the food is tameh because of tumat heset of the zav. So the exact same thing, karul hen teorim. Now, if the food went down and it carried the zav, so then the food is tahor. Okay, so it comes out that the way to find that the zav is moving the food is because he's pushing pressure on one side of the weight, and then it's picking up the other one. So the exact same thing you could find by Avodah Zarah. You put the Avodah Zarah on one part of the scale, and then it's called that he's carrying you if you go up. Right? Obviously, if the Avodah Zarah has more weight. So Kiman, who's this going like? We're on Pei Gimel Amud Bet. Kiman Azla had the so who's this going like when it says in the Braita, Kol ha-tum'ot ha-mesitot tehorot, all the tum'ot which move other people are tehorot, except for Seto Shel Zav, Shelo matzinu lo chaver b'chol Torah, because nobody ever found any other chaver in the entire Torah. So according to this, it's only the Zav, none of the Zarah. So obviously this is not going like Rabbi Akiva. The Rabbi Akiva, but if it's Rabbi Akiva, there's Avodah Zarah. Avodah Zarah is like the Zav. So answers the Gemara, no. Afilu temer, even if you want, you could say it's Rabbi Akiva. Tana Zav, it's Zav, but anything which is compared to the Zav. Meaning Zav was just an example. There are certain things which are compared to the Zav. And that's like what we just mentioned here. Okay? Next. Bai Rami Rav Chama Bar Guria. So asks Rav Chama Bar Guria, Avodah Zarah yeshna levarim or shena levarim? So this was a question that we asked before, if you remember. On the previous stuff we said, why didn't we answer this question? So here's the question. The question is, Avodah Zarah, does it exist evarim or not evarim? Which means, if a limb of Avodah Zarah was broken off, right? Part of the statue, part of the thing was broken off. Do you now say that that is also tameh? And is it tameh other things or not? So that's the question. So, if a hediot, a regular person, could put it back, obviously it's not a question. Because it's considered connected. Because if any layman, any certain person could come and just plug it back in, so that's not considered so it's considered a connected still. What is the question? If a regular person cannot put it back in, what's halacha? Since a normal person cannot put it back in, it's like it's broken. Well, do we say halom achasra? At the end of the day, it's not chaser anything. Because all you have to do is take it to a specialist, right, to one of these craftsmen, and he puts it back professionally. But afterwards, it's not lacking anything. It's not like it really broke. It's just got disconnected, dislodged. So that's the question. Okay? Right? And some people wanted to have the safek the other way around. That if the hediot cannot put it back together, loti ba'elecha, it's not a safek, that for sure it's considered broken. What is the question? When a hediot could put it back, what is the halacha? Since a hediot could put it back, it's like it's connected. Or maybe right now it's disconnected, v'shari, and therefore it's going to be permitted. Teiku, we don't have an answer. Which means that we had the same question about the evarim, but we asked it in two different ways. One way was lechumra, and one way was lekula. The first one, which was more lekula, was that if a normal person could put it back together, it's not even a question. For sure it's connected. So what is the question? Only by unuman. Only if you needed a craftsman to come and put it back together. The second question was, right, is that if right now you needed an unuman, then there's nothing to talk about. That's for sure, right, going to be such a case. So what is the question then? If it's a regular person could put it back together. If a regular person could put it back together, do you say that since he could put it back together, it's not considered broken? Or do you say the fact that right now it's dislodged and it's disconnected, so therefore it's going to be, it's not going to be able to be susceptible for tumah, and we don't have an answer. Teiku. So you have two ways of learning the exact same question, right? But both of them, teiku. We don't have an answer. Okay, and that's why the Gemara previously asked, according to Rabbi Elazar and according to Rabbah, why not? Why are you saying this? You should, you should learn it this way, and so on and so forth. Okay, fine. Says the Gemara. Okay, by Ravach Tevoi Barami. Ask Ravach Tevoi Barami. Avodah Zarah pechuta mikazait ma'u. What's the halacha if you have an avodah zarah which is less than a kazait? What's the halacha? Okay, so basically he's saying avodah zarah that's less than a kazait. What's halacha? Is it mitameh or not? So matkif Rav Yosef comes and he asks the following question: Lemai, what is the safek? If you're going to tell me it's a surah, even if it's going to be a small little fly or a mosquito which is less than a kazait, it's still avodah zarah. Avodah zarah is avodah zarah. So what are you talking about? The tiny was we learned in a braita. They made a bal brit lelokim. What does this mean? This is talking about in shofetim. The Bnei Yisrael started going after the be'alim, after avodah zarah. So they did a bal brit lelokim, zezvuv, bal ekron, which is the people of Ekron. So it comes out that they went and they started making an avodah zarah out of a fly. So every single one of them needs to make like a little tiny fly. And he used to have it in his pocket, and that was his god. Once he remembers it, takes it out of his pocket, he starts hugging and kissing the fly. So you see from here that even a fly, which is much less than a kazait, is avodah zarah. So what's the safek then? Ela, but rather, linyan tumah. It has to be to do with linyan tumah. So what is halacha? Kevan diitkal sheretz, since we come and we compare it to a sheretz. Masheretz b'kadasha, it has to be like an adasha, like a lentil, which is less than a kazait, so avodah zarah is like a lentil. Well, Dimar, maybe it was itkash lemet. It was also mutkash lemet. Avodah zarah was harakesh to met as well. Ma met bekazait, just like met is a kazait, so avodah zarah is bekazait. So again, one more time, the avodah zarah is compared to many different things. We learned the other day that the avodah zarah was compared to a sheretz, was compared to a nida, and we asked why isn't it compared to a nevela? Here we're saying it's also now compared to a met, a dead person. So because of that, the question is, does avodah zarah have the laws of tum'ah, meaning the size of tum'ah, for sheretz, which is kadasha, which is like a lentil, which is very small, or do you say that you need a kazait, because it's like a met? Kazait of met is mitameh, not less. So Amar Ravavia, says Ravavia, Vitim Rabbi Beula, and someone says Rabbi Beula. Tashema, we're going to try to bring the proof. The Tanya was going to the bright avodah zarah, right? Pechutami kazait, emba tuma kolekar. So it comes out that he says that if it doesn't have a kazait, there's no tuma. Shneimar vayishlech et afra al kever bnei ha'am. Ma met bekazait, just like the met is with the kazait. So avodah zarah is bekazait. So it comes out that the Gemara is going to say, ask me a kazait. If it's less than a kazait, there's no tum'ah. It's still an avodah zarah. That was the previous thing. It's still an avodah zarah, but it's not tameh. For tum'ah, there's no tum'ah. V'rabbanan, and according to the rabbis, right, that they, according to Rabbi Elazar, they say that it's going to be mitameh b'maga, but not by masar or even misama. So l'may hilchata yitkasha sheretz. So then why is it going to be compared to a sheretz? Right? De lo mitameh b'masar l'nidad, de eno levarim lemet, de lo mitameh b'kadasha. So he says very simple. Comes to teach you that we're not going to compare it with tumat masa, right? And it was huksha l'nida because it wasn't levarim, right? And it was huksha lemet, de lo mitameh b'kadasha, which means each one of them was made a juxtaposition. Huksha, hekesh, proximity was put together. So it says, it was brought close to the sheretz, right? Because it's not mitameh b'masa. It was brought close to a nida because it's not mitameh levarim. Because again, that was, we answered as a teiku, but they learned the no, that it's not mitameh be'evarim, which means if it was dislodged, it's not mitameh. And it was ukash, right, to a dead body, because it's not mitameh be'kadasha, has to be a kezait. So says the Gemara, Eimau lechumra. Why don't we say that each one of these akesh are going lechumra? Why was it for a sheretz? To make it tameh b'kadasha, Lenida, why was it mitameh like a nida? To be mitameh be'evim misama. Ve'aksha rachmana lemet, right? And now we're going to put it also to the met, to be be'ohel, to make it tameh be'ohel. Which means, why are you going lenient in each one of these hekesh? It was just supposed to a sheretz, but to be lenient, to be stringent. It was for the nidal to be lenient, not stringent. For the met, lenient, make the other way around. It was juxtaposed in order to make it stricter, not more lenient. So answers the Gemara, Tumat avodah zera midrabbanan hu vekula vechumra, right? So he says, Tumat avodah zera is midrabbanan, it's not doraita. Avodah zera is a sur doraita to serve it. Not that it becomes tameh. So since it's only midrabbanan, vekula vechumra lekula makshil, lekula makshil. So since it's midrabbanan, if it's by lekula and chumra, we go lekula. We don't go lechumra. Okay? Until here we're clear?
So far. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Mishnah. Minayin l'sfina shehi teorah. How do we know that a sfina, boat, is not mekabel tumah? Shneemar, derech onia belev yam. The pasuk says, derech onia belev yam, which means that it's like the yam. So just like the yam is not mekabel tumah, meaning you can't have a river or a sea becoming mekabel tumah. Right? Because then you would have a big problem. Nobody could do tefillah there. Nobody could do anything there. Right? But no, it's not mekabel tumah. So too, the onia, derech onia b'lev yam, it's not mekabel tumah. So ask the Gemara, Pshita, it's obvious. Onia b'lev yamu. It's obvious that a boat is in the middle of the sea. Say, where do you want the boat to be? In the middle of the highway? Say, it's going to be in the middle of the sea. So Kamash Malan comes to teach you, kayam, it's like the sea. Just like the yam is tahor, so to the sina is tahor. Tanya, we learned to write the Chania says, Nin mendam misak. We're going to learn it from a sackcloth. Masak mitaltel malerekan. Just like the sack is going to be mitaltel when it's a little bit empty, right? Male or rekan, meaning full or empty. So too, anything which is going to be full or empty, which is mitaltel, male or rekan, lapuk esfina, dere mitaltel melea rekanit. He wants to say that it's not compared to the sack because you can only be mitaltel when it's rek. He's saying that a sfina is made out of wood. So therefore, the wood was juxtaposed, was made a kesh to sack, to do with tumah. So therefore, he comes and he says, just like the sackcloth or any other utensil, which is a utensil which is carried, whether it's full or empty, so too, anything which is full or empty is the same halacha, comes to exclude a boat that it's not going to be when it's full or empty. Because since it's so big, it can't be carried when it's full. It says that the kari lucha is because of the water, not because of the load. So it's not considered clear until kan. Interesting. I don't know. It's very, very fine. Okay. So it says Yomi. So since it's not compared to the sack, it's not mekabel tumah at all. So basically, it comes out that Hananya didn't learn it from the pasuk. He just learned it from comparing it to sackcloth, that the boat should not be mekabel tumah. So ask the Gemara, my benayu, what's the difference then between the Tana of our Mishnah and Hananya? The practical difference. Obviously, there has to be some difference. So he answers, the difference is sefina shel cheres, a boat of earthenware. Mandam, and according to the Mandam, Aroniya belev yam, Hanami belev yami. So too here, it's also belev yam. And according to the Mandamar, that it's like a sackcloth, Hanach dektive gabesak, these ones which are written by the sack, the metaltele malerekan, right? In, ilo, right? So he says ilo lo. He says only if it's going to be metaltelet, also full and also empty, then it's going to be mekabel tumah. If not. Aval sfina shel cheres, right? But if it's going to be made out of earthenware, right? Afal gav dera metaltelet male verekan, it's going to be the same halacha. It's going to be mekabel tumah, even though it's not. Which means it's only if it's going to be a boat which is made out of wood and not made out of earthenware. Inami, another difference between them. Sfinata Yarden, it's the Jordan River. Leman da'amar onia belev yam, if it's going to be onia belev yam, Hanami, it's in the river, and it's not going to be mekabel tumah. But according to the man da'amar metaltel male verekan, that has to be whether it's full or empty. Hanami, so to here metaltel melea verekanit. It is mekabel tumah. Because basically, since the Sfinat Yarden is much smaller, it's a small boat, so therefore it could go whether it's full or empty. Right? The other big, huge boats can't go when it's 100% full.
But this is floating. Floating,
Which one?
they don't מקבל טומאה.
No, but that's what he's saying. He's saying since we compare it to sackcloth, it has nothing to do with the. Basically, what he's saying is it's a much smaller boat. So since it's a much smaller boat, it could be mitaltel when it's going to be full. That's all that he mentions.
It's strange that they don't compare it to the scale, because if you put Avodah Zarah on the boat on one side, the other one will go up. It's like the Avodah Zarah will move something, and it will be Tuma.
You're talking about Tumat Eset. First of all, not everybody agrees that Tumat Eset, or remember the carrying. Not everyone agrees to that, but Rabbi Elazar argued on that. And second of all, here we're just asking Bichlal ze mekabel Tuma, not which type of Tuma ze mekabel.
Okay.
So that's why here we're just saying that the boat doesn't mekabel Tuma at all.
Okay.
So forget about the
moving,
carrying, even touching, carrying, nothing.
That doesn't involve. Okay.
So he says, the Amar of Chanina bar Menakavia. But says Chanina Menakavia. Ipne ma amru Sfinat Yarden Tmea. Why do we say Sfinat Yarden is Tmea? Because they first hack it up when it's by the dry land, and then it goes out to sea. So it comes out that it's mitaltelet, not only when it's lekani, but also when it's full. Meaning the majority of the boats, you cannot fill it up at dry land and then take it out to sea. You have to do everything on the sea, because it's too big, right? But the one of the Yarden, since it's small boats, you could do that. So therefore, it's like the sackcloth. Okay? Fine. Says the Gemara, I don't know how this is it's connected only because of the same person. Of Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia. Amar Rav Yehuda ben Rav, says Rav Yehuda ben Rav, Le'olam alimena adam atzmo milebet hamidrash afilu ashar achat. A person should never stop himself from coming to the Bet HaMidrash, not even for one moment. Why? Because if you don't come for a moment, you could lose a chidush. So it says, Kama shanim nishnet mishnah zo bevet HaMidrash. Look how many years this mishnah was taught in the Bet HaMidrash, that the boat in the Yarden, ve'lo nitkala tama, and nobody knew the reasoning until Rabbi Chanina ben Akavia came and he explained it. So basically, it comes out that you could have been in the Bet HaMidrash years, and you didn't hear this chidush until he came and he did it. So if you wouldn't have been there for that moment, you lost it. Amar Rav Yonatan, says Rav Yonatan, a person should not stop himself from the Bet HaMidrash, from learning Divrei Torah, not even during the time of death. It means even if he's dying, he should be in the Bet HaMidrash. Even when a person is dying, he should be osek b'Torah. So I think this is very apropos for Shavuot, right? Because technically this is tomorrow's daf, which is Erev Shavuot. No, this is Friday's daf. This is Shavuot's daf.
Yeah, that's Friday daf.
This is Shavuot's daf. Look how incredible it is. Shavuot's daf and coming out about how important it is of learning Torah. Okay?
And another Yoma.
Exactly. Mamash, the exact same day. So Amar Shakish, and it's Mamash the last 3-4 lines of the Gemara. Amar Shakish says that Shakish and Divrei Torah mitkayim v'mishim mitatzmo alea. Divrei Torah are only going to be mitkayim and somebody that he kills himself for the Torah. Shneimar zot Torah de'am ki'amu be'ohel. A person that's going to go into the ohel. Okay, we're going to stop here for this stuff.